Hello everyone, and welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles on the SEGA Mega Drive. I am One Welsh Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I know we've already beat the initial LP of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but today we are going to be tackling the Knuckles storyline of the game, where it has quite a few differences from the initial Sonic run of the game. And of course, we play as everyone's favourite red echidna, Knuckles the Echidna. You know, Knuckles is a good character. And that cutscene you saw at the very start of the video, well, that was taken from Sonic and Knuckles, because much like with Sonic 3, a couple of differences happen whenever you lock on Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, but the only way to play as Knuckles in the Sonic 3 portion of this game is by connecting the two games together. And what Knuckles serves as is essentially, he's the hard mode of the game. However, just because we have collected all 7 Chaos Emeralds once already, I'm skipping them. So every time we go to a special ring, you will not see a special stage because they are exactly the same as Knuckles. You don't have to collect the red spheres instead of the blue spheres, as I foolishly thought you had to when I was a kid. You don't have to do anything like that, you just jump in the sphere and it's the exact same methods as ever. Now this entire first act of Angel Island is pretty much the same, apart from the sky. If you'll see from the sky, well, not by here, it's just blue by here, but essentially, this storyline takes place after Sonic's storyline in the game, which Sonic 4's website seems to disagree with, and they say apparently Knuckles' storyline and the Sonic storyline take place at the exact same time, which, let's face it, it's bloody stupid. It's impossible for the two to act at the same time, because otherwise Knuckles would still be working for Eggman, you know? And he wouldn't be chasing after the egg robo that's inhabited his island and is doing mighty bad things. However, because the Knuckles playthrough as a whole is actually a lot shorter than the Sonic playthrough, and because I'm cutting out all the special stages, because honestly you guys don't need to see them again, basically this is going to be a much shorter run through than the initial Sonic run through. Like the initial Sonic playthrough of the game was 8 parts, this is going to be 6 parts long, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's time to go to a Knuckles exclusive area. Well, not quite yet, but after this boss it will be. Now, it is possible to go to the Sonic version of this boss fight as well, but the boss for the most part is exactly the same. The only difference is, when fighting the boss as Knuckles, he shoots out missiles a lot more often, and he shoots out his flamethrower a lot more often. If you have a fire shield, he's about as pathetic as he ever was. And that's one of the biggest differences with the bosses, ladies and gentlemen. The bosses apply some new tactics to their arsenal. Some of the bosses are a lot stronger, some of the bosses are just flat out changed completely. So yeah. And if you have this locked on to Sonic 3 and Sonic 3, this is the only instance in Sonic 3's portion of the game where you're gonna actually run into Big Arm, which is the final boss from the original Sonic 3, because apparently Egg Robo, the guy we're chasing after, which is just one of Robotnik's, one of Eggman's mechs from from Sky Sanctuary Zone, who, for some reason, he applies better tactics than Eggman himself. So Eggman's mooks are more productive than Eggman himself. It's like, what? But anyway, Knuckles by here, about his, the way he controls, he's slightly slower than Sonic, although you wouldn't notice that just by playing, so there's that. And he can break through loads of stone barriers by using his face. He has a shorter jump, and he has the ability to glide. If you press the jump button twice, you'll start gliding in midair. If you glide into a wall, you're going to be able to climb said wall. And of course, climbing up the walls and gliding off the walls is going to be one of the big things about Knuckles' storyline, folks, because a lot of these Knuckles designed areas are designed specifically with Knuckles in mind. They're designed specifically for Knuckles' skill set. And speed! You see Sega, Knuckles the Echidna can go fast. It kind of bugs me how recent games sort of made it so everyone but Sonic has to go slow. It kind of annoys me. No, they can go fast, just make them slightly slower than Sonic, not much slower, and You know, you don't change the gameplay style. One of the reasons why I love playing as the multiple characters in these classic Sonic games is because the multiple characters in these classic games, they basically they're basically Sonic the Hedgehog with the slightly different attributes. Like Knuckles is Sonic with a shorter jump and slower speed, whoop-de-doo, and the ability to glide. Tails is Sonic with the ability to fly, which is why I'm not doing a Tails run in this game. He's not different enough. He's literally Sonic with the power to fly, and maybe in the future I might do an easy mode run, like through Sonic Jam, which is the Sega Saturn collection or something. I don't know. You know, I get someone else to do the playthrough, and I just sort of co-commentate with them. I'll see. But for now, I'm just sticking with Sonic and Knuckles because the Tails run is pointless. I can't see what commentary I could come up with while doing a Tails run, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be honest. Coming up with commentary for a Knuckles run is gonna be tricky in and of itself. Like, originally I was gonna do this co-commentary with Nintendo, so if you people don't know Nintendo, he's actually a pretty damn awesome LPer, and he's currently got like 3 times the size of it. Well, actually, he's got over 1,000 subscribers, got 100 right now, so he has 10 times the subscribers I have, you know? He has an awesome channel, so check him out if you feel free to. Nintendo it is. And he was originally going to do co-commentary with me on this, but I decided against that primarily because I want to get this done quickly, and getting hold of people to do co-commentaries, because I'm in a bit of a rush to get, well, not so much in a rush to get these videos out, but I want to get these out in a timely manner now, because I want to get myself a good few months ahead of the curve in terms of footage. Basically, it's better for me to do this myself, and like, if I ever need co-commentary later on, then I'll get in for it, but I think I'll be fine. You know, the Knuckles playthrough is, like I said, slightly different for Sonic's, so I can sort of explain a few differences about the stage. Although, Hydro City Zone is it's kind of annoying stage with Knuckles, because I think Knuckles' version of Hydro City Zone is exactly the same as Sonic's version of the stage, so there's nothing really new with Knuckles' storyline. Although there is one thing I'm going to start showing off, and it's actually with the bonus games. Now, I may have mentioned the bonus games in the first playthrough of Sonic 3, I'm actually not sure, but whenever you hit a checkpoint with a set amount of rings, I believe it's 30, 40 or 50 rings, you will actually be able to access a bonus game. And this bonus game will allow you to get more rings, get more lives, get more continues, which are the most pointless things in this entire game, I'm gonna be honest. And even power-ups like shields and extra lives, you know? You're gonna be able to get loads of things through these bonus games, so. And depending on how many rings you have, you can access different bonus stages. Like, I believe if you have 30 rings, you will access the gumball machine minigame, where you have loads of springs. You bounce off the springs to hit the twirly thing on a gumball machine. Like, if any of you have ever seen a real gumball machine, you got this little crank that you turn, and the ball will fall out. Basically, it works like that. You spin into the crank, a gumball will fall out, and depending on what gumball falls out, that will determine what power-up you get. So there's that, basically. And yay, 1-up! There's a lot more 1-ups when the game's locked on, I remember. Which is actually good for me, because I'm not particularly skilled as playing as Knuckles. But yeah, the second of the machines I believe you can get is, I call it the pinball machine, but I don't actually know if it has a name. Basically, you've got these magnetic electrical orbs in a giant passageway going upwards, a vertical shaft, if you will. And what you want to do is you're going to need to go onto these magnetic balls, spin around them, and jump off at the right time and progress up the shaft. As you progress up the shaft, you can get power-ups as well, which are these little glowy seizure balls. You touch them, and higher up the shaft you go, the more, you know, the better the prize. You know, you'll be getting better power-ups, basically, that's what I'm getting at. And of course the third, and I believe final bonus stage, I'm not sure if I'm saying them in the order that you do unlock them, but the third and final special stage, bonus staging, is basically, if you've played Sonic 2 and you remember the Casino Night Zone, you had all these slot machines you could spin into, and rack up loads of points. It's essentially that, and you use it to get tons of rings. Now, it's sort of like a mix of Casino Night Zone fused with the special stages from Sonic 1. I'm not sure if I show this one off in the playthrough, because like I said, it all depends on your rings. The amount of rings I have at any given time is pure chance, so there's that. Although a lot of people I know a lot of people don't like it when I go super early on in the playthrough. And unfortunately, I do get all the Chaos Emeralds quite early in this playthrough as well as Knuckles, folks. But I don't think I transform much at all. For two reasons. One, I try to avoid transforming as much as I possibly can. I did with Sonic as well, but that didn't really work out with Sonic. But as Knuckles, I find it easier to not transform because his gameplay is a lot harder. I get hit by enemies a lot more, which means I never have the same amount of rings at a given time, so I always run out of rings. When I run out of rings, Bob's your uncle. But there we go. I think we should be on like the 6th emerald now. I'm actually not sure what emerald we're on. But anyway, it's just me making use of the glider to get past this area a lot quicker. Seriously, Knuckles' skill set is really useful. If you think about it, Sonic's actually the least useful character out of all these characters, considering the fact all these characters have their own unique traits. Like, Knuckles can glide, Tails can fly. What can Sonic do? Run slightly faster. Ooh, whimsy, you know? It's just... I don't know, Sonic gets less and less relevant in terms of skills later on in the series, which makes it really weird why he's been, you know, like he's the star of every game, which I don't mind that, it's the Sonic franchise after all, but he always seems to be the star of every game, and he always seems to do the best out of everyone, despite the fact everyone else in this franchise has more skills. So the only thing that's coming to my mind is everyone else is just incompetent. I mean, we all know Knuckles is an idiot, but everyone else is incompetent. And even recently, Tails doesn't do anything other than tinker with mechanical crap. So there's that, I suppose. I mean, even later on, we even get a character called Shadow, who's basically a Sonic, but dark and edgy. I mean, he does like stealing candy from a baby, and apparently he is fine by him, so although this by here is where Knuckles' sequence changes. This is where Sonic had to fall down and fight the boss. Knuckles has a bit of extra level going on by here, so just spin dash through that wall, and it's time to do some tricksy platforming. Now, like I said, the Knuckles exclusive areas are usually built with Knuckles in mind, and the area where we played as Knuckles in Angel Island Zone, if we use, what's it called? Debug mode, that's the one. Which is actually a cheat code. I may show it off in the future in an extra video, I'm not sure. But if we use debug mode, we can actually try and get into Knuckles' area as Sonic, and doing so, well, we can still get through the area, because you don't really need Knuckles' ability to get through that area. But with this area in particular, we need Knuckles' abilities. We need to have the glide. Otherwise, we can't get through it, because obviously we have loads of areas where we need to glide through giant chasms, collecting rings and whatnot. But I digress. Anyways, time for the very first bonus stage to show off. Now, this is the one I told you about with the vertical shaft. Pick up the seizure balls, and you get access to a power-up, like I just got a bubble shield. You can use these flippers on the side of the walls to flip you upwards, if you will. And I'm not a very good spinball wizard. Like my Sonic Spinball LP. Actually, I don't think my Sonic Spinball LP will really show that off, because like, for the most part, it looks like I got through that game just fine. So scratch that. But honestly, like I said, you have to go up the vertical shaft. The higher up the vertical shaft you get, the better the prize is. And sometimes you can get ring power-ups as well, which will give you 10 rings if you're at the bottom. However, as you can see, my ring count jumped from 50 to 80. The higher up you go, the more the rings count. So usually you think, oh, 10 rings, cool. No, if you're very high up these areas, you're very likely to get something like, I think the highest ring count you can get up here is 50. I'm not entirely sure. Although you know when you're reaching the end of these sequences, because the power-ups that you pick up are all 1-ups. But Throughout the entire time there's a helix chasing you. If you get caught by the helix, it's going to throw you out of the special stage. So just avoid the helix, if you will. Now, it's time for the boss fight number 2. Now, this boss fight with Egg Robo is slightly different to the boss fight we fought previously, because he doesn't come down, which means we need to use this water fountain and jump on him, because otherwise we can't reach him. And he's also gonna shoot bombs out, which I'm not sure if I showed the bombs off in my first run, but he's gonna shoot out these bombs. You need to use the ricochet of the bombs to hit him, and that's all she wrote. Honestly, it's not that hard a boss, but it's slightly more difficult than the Sonic version of the boss fight, if that's any big of a prize. Although if you're lucky enough, you can get on him like that, and you can sort of cheese the boss fight and destroy him. So there's that, I suppose. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Hydro City Zone, and that is it for the first part of the Knuckles run of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. When we return next time, we'll return with Marble Garden. Yay! Knuckles' face, it suits what I feel about Marble Garden. So I'll catch you all next time, guys. Bye!